What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agree to Disagree. Birds, winners of 9 in a row. Saquon Barkley is a superhero. And we got to talk about the Eagles' pass game. The struggles continue. We'll talk about it. Let's go.
Uncle Sweeps, Nick Delgado, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc. Make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal. Specialized physical therapy, locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. As always, that's Greg Milakovic. That's Brian Wilson. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in, because you know what we're witnessing, baby. The best signing in Philadelphia history. That's what we're watching. The addition of Saquon Barkley. That's the kind of impact signing we're watching. Maybe it will go down as the best signing ever. It might go down. Might go down. We're a Broad Street run away. We're a Broad Street walk away from maybe the best signing. That's the kind of year this guy's having. We'll talk about it all. Crumb of the week. Apologize in advance. You know, we're all fighting something over here in our own household. But
I'm also a little sick myself.
But
so
we're a bunch of Cal Ripkins, bunch of Ripkin cats. Crumb of the week. At the end of the show, we'll give you an early look at the Steelers. That's going to be a gauntlet. That's a dogfight waiting to happen. We'll obviously break down what we watched today, give you our post-game thoughts of the Panthers game, and give you our players of the game. But let's start with our poll question. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes here. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles' passing game needs to improve. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, join the conversation. Now, you can look at this a lot of ways, right? Because I've been pounding the table for under 25 pass attempts, right? I've been pounding the table, pounding it, and they've done that, right? And they've won. And they've won by, again, today, 209 total rushing yards, all right? That's elite stuff. That's elite stuff. Wasn't pretty. They didn't win pretty at all. It wasn't, but again, we'll talk about the way they won after the poll, right? Unless you want me to go into it. But, you know, I don't, either way, I expected a game like this today. I just did. After two tough games like you had, you got the Steelers up next, right? It's a walkthrough, sort of a walkthrough game, a layup line, they like to call it. And the game was closer than we hoped it would be, but you could sort of see it coming a little bit, right?
We lose if he catches the ball.
Yeah. So, but what I'll say is, the amount of times they're throwing, I have no problem with. That's what I wanted, right? So I agree. I'd be contradicting myself to say that's the problem. The problem lies here is not the amount of times they're throwing. It's his lack of ability in the first quarter and the second quarter to get any real rhythm. Jalen Hurts, that is. Jalen Hurts is not getting rhythm in the first quarter. That's where there's no rhythm. That's why there's no rhythm in the passing game. This isn't about attempts. This is about from week one on. He's not had rhythm. Listen, when you talk about a hitter, Juan Soto to the Mets probably, all right? When you talk about why he's a great hitter.
Finished.
Because he's got a lot of rhythm and timing. His rhythm and timing is great, too. That's another reason. Well, same thing as a quarterback. Your rhythm and timing got to be money. And his rhythm and timing have been off. You hear quarterback after quarterback on the broadcast tell you that, got to get that ball out there. Guys that he's better than. Telling you got to get the ball out there, right? What he is, he's an elite winner, all right? He's an elite winner. That's what he does. Because every time you need a big drive, he makes good throws. You notice this?
Yeah.
So do they need to improve? Yes, I agree. You'd be an asshole to sit here and say it doesn't. But the devil's advocate to that is every time you need a drive, he answers the bells, boys. He answers the bell every time.
Not today.
In a big run.
Bad 2 drives at the end, bad mistakes. Didn't throw the ball away, took a bad 9-yard loss, took a delay of game. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
No, I'm not talking about just today. I'm saying in general.
But I agree in general. I agree. Today was not one.
But the passing game overall needs to have more rhythm in the first quarter because then he'll set it all up. I mean, this offense should be averaging 30 a game with the way they run the football.
Yeah,
but the problem is
we cannot move the ball in the first quarter.
They come out throwing every week because they're trying to set up the run and get guys involved early. And he does not want to get rid of the football early. He gets more rhythm later on in games. So, listen, he's got to play better early on in football games. But has he had big drives? Is he a captain of this football team that's winning? Yeah. You know, you give him his flowers where he deserves them. And you also say, hey, you got to play better in the first quarter. You, not this team as a whole. The quarterback hasn't played well in the first quarter. And I think that just sets the tone for his game. And then his skill possession players getting involved more. Because if you do throw and score in the first quarter, guess what? Yeah, you might throw the ball 30 times, but it's because you have a huge lead. Because you threw it early. You extended drives. You understand what I'm saying here? Right? There's no extending drives from Jalen Hurts in the first quarter. And that's where I say he needs to improve. But when you need a drive, and over the course of this year, and you need a big throw, he's made them. Or you need a big run, he's made it. Right? So, and they've won a lot of football games. Today was probably early on his worst because of who you were playing, too. With his overall worst. Just overall, just like he had no rhythm to his game. And I want to use that word 1,000 times tonight because that's what it is. And anybody who can't see that just wants to tell me about other reasons. Get rid of the football. 1-2 drop. It's not 1-2 jump.
Yeah, he's holding the ball too long for sure.
No, get rid of the football. And that's where it comes from. You got to trust when you got show ponies on the outside like you do. There's my rant on it all. All right.
I mean, so you're spot on that with that.
Great
Tommy.
things, some bad things. So I mean, that's the life of a NFL player. But he's got to be better in the first quarter. If he is, you know, this team's going to win a Super Bowl. That's all. Here's my rant. So I'll agree, I guess, right? Even though I give you the other side of it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it should be agree across the board. When your best receiver, when they ask your best receiver after the game what needs to be work on, and he says passing. I mean, then it's obvious.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, we can't throw the football. We can't throw the football.
He's a godfather of his kid too.
Yeah,
right. I mean, it's the godfather of AJ Brown's daughter, Jalen Hurts. So I mean, their relationship's like me and anybody playing in J.C. Penney's parking lot. You know what I mean? That's like me and the boys playing in the parking lot. You know, it's that same relationship where you can say that shit in the post game because you're going to tell him that. You already told him that 4 times
to his face, probably. Yeah,
and you might tell him another 10 times through the week in text.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure Jalen would agree. I
would hope
our biggest weakness is our passing game. Obviously, we can run on everyone. We have a great O-line. We have the best running back in football. All that's well and good. Jalen is also very dangerous with his legs, and he's going to make plays with his legs, and it improves our running game with him. He has to get better at throwing the football. His anticipation is trash. I don't know why he's not getting rid of the ball. Stop taking sacks. Get rid of the football. That's the biggest thing to me. I know he can make throws. I've seen him make throws. It's his anticipation and his holding of the football is the biggest thing to me. If he can improve on that, we're fine. That's my biggest issue, and I'm just waiting for this to bite us in the ass, and I'm hoping it doesn't. But if you look at us, the way that we get bit in the ass here is we go down, can't run the ball if we want to, and we can't throw, and that could be our issue. Now, granted, our defense has looked good, maybe not great today, but they've been damn good. So you would hope that we won't go down, but you never know.
Listen, everybody's saying me, everybody's saying Tom, right? Like. No, like I don't believe in his ability to throw the football. I've never been that guy. So don't think that I'm like, you know, pro Jalen. I'm saying he's had some big drives this year though, where he has thrown the ball well.
Oh, he absolutely has. When we needed he's had big drives in his career.
I just keep it 100 with him, right? I tell you that his efficiencies, which is overall his rhythm and timing for the 1,000th time. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have a lot. He just doesn't. That's him. So you got to accept it, and we'll go back to it. You got to allow him to use his legs. His biggest asset is his legs, right? And when you allow him to use it, right, we usually finish drives pretty well when he runs the football a little bit, right, and extends the drive. They're backbreakers all around the league. It's hard to win in this league, man. So I'm not if we played football all year, then I'm mad about this win, right? But we haven't. So this is a game where I'm just like, dude, just escape. But go ahead. I mean,
no, you're right. I mean, listen, we got to win.
I'm on pro Jalen not being good enough from the pocket. So my stripes hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Okay. Like everybody telling me, like, I know.
Tries to tell you that he's good enough from the pocket is not watching the games. They
got a mouthful.
All that is.
We call that a mouthful around here. You know what I mean? That's a deep throw.
He can't throw the ball. It's not that he can't throw the ball. It's the holding. It's the anticipation
in the back of your mouth.
Really.
I mean, a little hanging ball in the back of your mouth. That's what we call those guys. You know what I mean? That's the only accuracy he's got. You know what I mean? Hitting that thing all over. All right, that's enough.
It's not. I mean, you would think you would really hope that with the best offensive line in football and the best running game in football and the best running back in football that you should be able to throw the fucking football.
A little bit.
The fact that we can is alarming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real quick before I go, $75 million guaranteed, no deferred for Juan Soto.
750.
$75 million guaranteed. You got 765 total, 75 million. Oh, I'm sorry, 75 million signing bonus.
Okay, yeah.
75 million signing bonus.
Yeah,
50, and they said no deferred money. 50,
and no deferred money.
I said guaranteed. I said the whole thing's guaranteed.
It's MLB. Everything's guaranteed.
Yeah, we guarantee for 40 years from now. That's how long they want it.
There's that can make it over 800. They said.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. You guys,
$1 billion playing baseball. $1 billion. Oh my God.
You guys have hit it all, right? But and Tom, you were going there, right? Our struggles early in game are because of Jalen Hurts, right? Our play calling early in game is 70-30 or somewhere in that range, and that's to get Jalen Hurts in rhythm, and he is not in rhythm early in game. I mean, we saw it today, right? We saw it today. The deep ball, to Devontae Smith on the comeback there was just so late, right? So many balls were late. So many balls were misplaced. And that's not the run from what we said the past 8 weeks, right? Like I thought 2 weeks ago against St. Louis, LA, and the Rams, he was excellent. And now that's not changing, right? So like you said, just because he's struggling doesn't mean that he hasn't played well in times this year. But when we look over the fact of the entire year, and we've been complaining about slow starts, they all have the common theme of it's a pass-heavy offense early in games to get Jalen and the offense rolling, and it just doesn't happen.
No, it hasn't worked.
It hasn't worked. Now he gets better when he gets later in the game, and our offense starts to settle out a little bit more, right? But right before we came on, I saw a quick video that Emilio Acho did, and he compared the Eagles' offense versus like those of the Lions and like the Ravens, right? And the stats are essentially the same. Same rushing yards from the running back tandems. Very similar amount of carries for all three teams. The only difference is Lamar Jackson's got 28 touchdowns and 3,300 yards. Jared Goff's got 25 touchdowns and 3,300 or 3,000 yards. Jalen Hurts is so far behind that. So the amount of rushes and touches that Saquon is stealing from the passing game just isn't true, because all those other teams that are quote unquote a run first team, when you think of Montgomery and Gibbs and Derrick Henry, their quarterbacks have much better passing statistics than ours does.
Well, it all goes back to the original point that was made in the preseason leading up to this season, where I sat here and said a million times it would be inexcusable to not drop 30 a night. You understand? Because I said that because of that reason right there, Greg. And it all goes back to the point that they are not sustaining drives early in games to get to those point numbers, right? That's the problem. They're making it harder on themselves. That's how talented they are. They're making it harder on themselves. That's how good this defense is. I mean, if they just average 7 points a game in the first quarter, I mean, they're probably undefeated. And if they're not undefeated, guess what? They're probably averaging 30 a game. And a lot, and whatever. But the point of it is his numbers go up. The point of it is his numbers go up. His passing yards go up because there's more plays. You can't have more passing yards if there's more plays.
Yeah,
you need more plays, and the problem is they're not getting them in the first quarter. They'll get them after that.
Yeah,
but you can just take away 3 drives. When you can take away 3 drives where you're going 3 and out, or maybe you're getting a first down or 2, but that's shit in the bed after that. This is where you're at. Listen, he's never been a good. I don't want anybody to come on here and tell me differently. He's never been a good pocket passer. And Pete Evans talking about the Soto. Yeah, we've talked about it a couple times, Pete. We don't want to do it again.
Yeah, we'll come into great, awesome, great fun.
Maybe we'll come into the crumb of the week. But listen, it is who he is, guys. This is why I sat here and told you need to run the ball. You need to be a run first team. You need to lead the league in overall rushing. That's what they're on. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
Right. So that's why they're at where they're at. And this has got to be their identity. And you can win with him over the next 3 to 4 years doing this shit. You can. But you got to deal with shit like today. And you got to understand it. And if you don't want to understand it, then deal them. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. Because it ain't going to change. And don't go start blaming this guy, or that guy. Because you ain't going to just run a circus.
He can improve, though. He can improve.
Everybody can. I believe he's a guy who would improve.
He hasn't, though, from the pocket.
He hasn't.
Which is slightly alarming because you would expect him. I don't care. Like his arm strength. Obviously, his arm strength isn't going to improve, but he should be able to improve his anticipation and stuff like that, which hasn't improved. That's the problem.
Yep.
Nah, his arm strength is probably going to be where it is. I'm not.
Yeah, it's going to stay where it is. That's fine.
I don't think it's like the weakest in the league. It's not the strongest.
No, not at all.
No,
it's fine.
It's middle of the pack.
If he gets the ball out quicker, when he does get the ball out on time,
and get the ball like Dom says right here. Hit your back foot and let it loose. You got.
But when he does have the arm strength to make it. He doesn't.
Sure.
He doesn't. Listen, he's not a thread the needle cat. Right? We've talked about this a million times. He's not a guy that's going to throw it in between 2 guys and believe his arm is good enough to make it. This is why he doesn't make throws where you're like, dude, you gotta throw guys open, right? Where you'll see him struggle with that at times. Because he doesn't believe in his arm strength. You know what I mean?
But this is, absolutely. But this isn't anything new with him. We've talked about that since draft day.
Correct.
About his lack of being able to anticipate what's happening. Right? Like that example I used, that ball to Devontae Smith. That's got to come out before Devontae drops his hips and comes back. Maybe not before it, but as he's breaking down, that ball's got to be out and be on Devontae's body before the quarterback can even recover.
Yeah.
And that's the facts, Greg, is that he needs that the league is throwing guys open.
Yes.
And when you play good teams, you have to throw guys open. That's how you do.
Yeah, I mean, we could go back in history of guys who haven't had the greatest arms.
That Bills Rams game today. Stafford threw guys open all game.
That's all he does.
Now, I'm not trying to say he's on the throwing level of Stafford. Okay, obviously we're 2 different quarterbacks. Jalen makes many more plays with his feet, but we just need him to get better at those kinds of plays. That's all. That's what it is.
Andy says, "Can we honestly win a Super Bowl with the 30th ranked passing offense? I mean, Barkley has play lights out, same as the defense. I mean, you can because you're just saying Barkley has to play lights out. If you get 60, 70 on the ground from Jalen, right, and then you're up over 230, 240 yards rushing.
You absolutely can.
Right? Like you can.
Our line's dominant.
You can win that way, Andy. Like I said to you before, you could be explosive that way too. So like there's not one way to win a Super Bowl here. Right? Like you can be good. You gotta be good enough throwing the ball in big spots, which they essentially have done a good job of for the most part. I think like once they get all these guys maybe just playing together too, we'll maybe create some rhythm because you have Dallas in and you have Mount, you have AJ in and he's out, then he's back in for a little bit. Devontae's been in and out, right? And maybe just playing together can help it a little bit. Now, again, this is what Jalen is, though, but we've seen him throw better than this.
Yeah, he's been better than this.
We've seen him do better than this. So we know he has the capabilities to do better. So, listen, maybe you call it year 1 of the offense for him, too, a little bit. Right? Like, he is still, like, young in terms of, like, going through progressions. Right? So when you think about it, maybe it is a little bit of year 1 of the offense. But this is why you go out and you sign the best running back in football. And now he's not only the best running back in football, he's the best running back in football on steroids behind this offensive line. And the fact of the RPO, you saw it today. You guys saw it today.
Yeah.
You know, he kept it in Saquon's belly 2 times. Then he has it and he busts off a first down, right? It's like that little play right there is what helps Saquon too. They help each other. So, I mean, you're going to have his deficiencies, but and what are we going to do about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
it's the other stuff that bothers me with him is the delay game that can't happen. But like he's taking too many sacks. Once you're outside the pocket, throw the ball away. You should never take a 9-yard loss when you're outside the pocket. Throw the ball away. Did it 2 times this game. Like, what are you doing? That's a negative play that can't happen against a good team. You survived with it against the Carolina Panthers, but you can't be doing that. Throw the ball away. Holding it too long.
Yeah, I mean, he does take an enormous, an insane amount of sacks for a guy who's as mobile as he is. Right? You know what I mean? You would think that you'd be able to sliver out and get around and get out of the pocket and either throw the ball away or get a small gain, but he does take a whole lot of sacks. But no, I mean, you guys are absolutely right. And we've seen throughout history, though, teams win a Super Bowl with a passing offense that just doesn't work or isn't very good. Just they need to be good at times. I mean, how many that Trent Dilfer led Ravens and Bucks and we're not saying I'm not saying Trent Dilfer is good at all, but he won a couple Super Bowls or at least one Super Bowl, and he can't throw the football.
Seattle was run first.
Yeah.
Ross, it's possible. Josh, I get it, bro. Like, you are full on defend mode, pick your poisons, and
why do we have to pick our poisons
and all these other things, Josh. Like, he's won. That's what he's done a great job of.
Yeah.
Okay. But there is some things that are weaknesses. And if you guys out there that can't see it, that's okay. I'm on the side of you just have to accept it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to yell and scream about it anymore. I knew what he was on draft night when it came to certain, efficiencies. Now, I think he's made big strides in a lot of those areas, but he's not perfect with it.
I think what's the biggest issue with a lot of us is that we see this team as a Super Bowl team. You know what I mean?
Just win. Just
but the reason
win.
that if we don't get there, it's going to be because of his passing.
Let's see. We'll have that talk. I'm not saying.
Let me get my crystal ball out right now.
Oh, you might.
I can see it.
You might.
I'm never going to know. Not in this, Greg.
Oh, okay.
Not in this situation.
You're just talking about in this situation.
Yeah, in terms of jail not being the thing that maybe holds us back, Wills, I'm never going to disagree with you on that, right? All I'm going to say is we don't have a crystal ball into that. What if he goes for 320, right? And our defense gets shredded and we lose the game in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
You know what I mean? But to your point, I hear you. But I also, this guy's been to a Super Bowl too. I'm not fighting the fight.
And he played well in it.
I'm fighting the fight that he's won. That's the only fight I'm going to fight tonight. I know what he doesn't do well, guys. So to sit here again and keep yelling about it doesn't do anybody any good. But I'm going to go off of what does he do well then? When we need big drives, he seems to step up for the most part outside of today, right? On the couple drives we're talking about. But for the most part, he does. He's gone to a Super Bowl, right? He makes enough big plays. He makes big plays with his legs, and he wins a lot of football games. So, why be glass half full with it when you're 11-2? When you're 11-2, and the Eagles are doing what I asked from them, which is limit his attempts and be a run-first team, and I'm going to sit up here and bitch and moan about the passing game all night? I know what that was. I know what it is. This ain't nothing new. Like, I'm always sitting here and waste my energy on that. This ain't new. This ain't peekaboo. Look at me. I'm brand new. You never saw this move before. We've seen the peekaboo. I mean, you want something new, then go ahead. Then sit here and keep saying, he's got to do this. He's got to do this. Shit, he had to do that shit since Oklahoma. He had to do that shit since Bama.
Yeah.
Right. Now we're going to act like, oh. The guys will change their stripes a little bit, but like, he's a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who he's always been. So just expect him to be a playmaker. So if he makes enough plays equal playmaker, we should always be good with it then.
Listen, I'm good with how the offense is running the ball, and obviously we're winning games, so I'm not going to complain about that.
If he's winning, only if he's winning. If he's losing, then I'm right with you. I'm firing away.
And to that point, even though we struggled, we did win today, right? To that point.
Yeah, Xavier Legette catches the ball, we lose.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not wrong, but
love that.
That's what happens when you go to South Carolina.
Love that he dropped it.
Missed the playoffs and you missed the catch. Too soon.
Oh, I'm not enabling anybody, Rome. I don't think he's good enough throwing the football. This ain't enabling. Shit. Like, I don't understand how more can I help you comprehend the words that are coming out of my mouth.
I do feel like, though, do we not feel like that? I felt like that he threw the ball. He's thrown the ball better previously than he has this year. Do we not feel that? I feel that way.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's discouraging.
But
And like I said earlier, I don't want to keep harping on it, but when you have the best offensive line and you have the best running back, you should be able to throw the ball. It should be easier to throw the football.
Rome, are you guys crazy? Rome, you must just circle back for your first show in 5 years, because I've been the biggest advocate that he's not good enough throwing the football around Philadelphia, where people have come after me numerous times about it. Now that everybody sees it, and I'm just telling you, we knew this, but he wins. What are we going to do? Run him out of town right now?
He does win
too. Talk to me when he loses the playoff game, and I'll be the first guy on here whipping out about how he's not good enough. I'll be the first guy. First guy in town.
I think what Rome is saying, though, and like what I'm saying is, like, you can see the writing on the wall of how we're going to lose.
When we do, I'll be the first.
I hope we don't, but you can see the writing on the wall.
So December 8th, I need to come on here and keep saying the things I've said for years and waste my energy yelling and screaming after a win.
I'll tell you what, it is pretty funny how it's going the other way, because people used to always say, Tom hates Jalen.
Now I'm enabling.
Now he's an enabler.
I haven't been on Team Jalen for a while, but I know how you can win with him. And I've been very clear on that. And you win with him by what you're doing right now. And that's how you can win with him. And that's what they're doing. So since they're playing to my style of football right now, when you have a quarterback like Jalen, then I'm going to be team let's go.
And I do fully agree that, like
9 in a row,
saying, we should be throwing the ball 25 times or less a game, which we've been doing, and we should be running it down teams' throats, which we've been doing.
Just saying. 9-0 since we brought that up. 9 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was mentioned a lot. And we've rattled off 9 in a row since the conversation to be run first. And I'm going to come on here and be like, you don't throw the ball well enough.
I will say, I feel like Kellen Moore didn't have a great day today.
Like it's
what
makes me laugh.
Weak today.
This is what makes me laugh, though, Wilson. This is what makes me laugh, though. It's like I begged for that 9 weeks ago. They did it, and now I'm supposed to come on here 9 weeks later after 9 straight wins and say, "Well, we don't throw the ball well enough." Like, no shit, we don't.
Yeah, we definitely don't. But 9 straight wins is great. You know, in the NFL, very tough, very.
But the point is, I told you 9 weeks ago by saying we need to be run first, and we don't throw the ball well enough.
Yeah.
So now I got to tell you again. I got to double down. Like I got a quadruple down. That's a quadruple down. Oh,
quad down.
I can't win. You know what I mean? I can't win coming on here. No voice, trying to take a breather tonight, essentially. You know what I mean? Trying to go through the motions, as they say. And I can't win.
It's a Panthers game for you? It's going through the motions.
Just a Panthers game.
VD Pate, you're right. There's no anticipation. There are short, quick outs, but he waits for the wide receivers to get open rather than throwing anticipation and leading the wide receiver. Yep.
That's literally his biggest problem for sure.
And somebody will watch tape.
Anticipation is for sure.
Somebody will watch tape and tell you how somebody semi-beat the guard, and that's why. And somebody will have an excuse for it for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, even outside of all that, he just misses wide open guys. I mean, we've seen this game after game after game where just guys are wide open. Oh. AJ, a lot of the times, it's him. Right? It's your best guy. You should have eyes for your best guy.
Happy Sunday, Tim.
Happy Sunday.
It's always good. It's always a good Sunday after a win. Even I know we're nitpicking here, but it's a good Sunday after a win. DeAndre Hopkins just dropped a ball that he should have caught.
Well, Bill Bill has a comment here.
Love to see it. He probably thought the kid from Georgia was down, possibly paralyzed yesterday.
Probably thought he was dead.
JK, Bill. JK. If you know, you know. Give me the NFL with the most wins in the last 3 years. I mean, I don't know. Is that true? Are we sure about that, Bill? I mean, I feel like the Chiefs win a lot of games.
He's probably really close.
It wouldn't shock me if it's true.
It could be true. I know we were really bad at the end of the year last year, which could be the only reason it's not true.
I saw that too. That was the play he ran for, I want to say 30. But yeah, Jahan was wide open on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with you, Bill. He's a winner, but he has deficiencies, and
sure.
Again, I mean, it is what it is with him. But again, you can win with him for a good 3 to 5 year stretch, and let's see how it. Before we assume we're going to lose because he's not going to throw the ball well. We're 11-2, man. We got dominant.
Yeah. I'm not assuming we're going to lose.
We got dominating
defense.
defense.
How we would lose.
We got dominating defense. You know, we have a dominating running game all around, and we have explosive players on the outside. So, with all that being said, I'm not going to sit here and be doom and gloom after 9 straight. Yeah, after 9 straight wins. Like, no, we're the big bad freaking wolf, right? And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm worried because we might have to throw the ball. We might throw the ball for 120 yards in a playoff game and still put up over 320 all-purpose yards and beat a team by 7. I don't give a shit how it looks. I never gave a shit how it looked. I never been the Eagles fan that sat around this damn city and cared how it looks. I care about, does it win? Does it win? That's it. That's it. And if it wins, I don't care if I win the Super Bowl 4-2. And I got 2 safeties. And I'm freaking celebrating with Clydesdales on Broad Street. I don't give a shit how it goes.
Imagine a 3-safety Super Bowl.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be wild.
Never cared how you win. I mean, last year we started to care how we won, but
when we couldn't win anymore, that's when we started to care.
Yeah, but I think there's levels to that though too, right? Like I think we could sit here and watch games and be critical of wins in a scenario like today, you know, versus what we saw all last year leading up to the collapse.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, you could feel it, right, and you could feel the fraudulent, if you want to say, of what that team was. You could feel that coming. Like, I don't feel that this week or this time, right? I feel like I almost love the fact that we absolutely struggled today with Pittsburgh Steelers coming in. Like, I love that because we know next week is going to be a really tough game. They're a really good team. They're a really good defense. And they play just as physical as we do on both of their lines.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I love the fact
that
we damn right just about lost this game today before our 2 toughest remaining games on the schedule are coming into town or coming up, right? Pittsburgh this week or upcoming week, and then at Washington. We knew this was the hardest part of our last 5, 6, 7 games. And like I said, I love the fact that we struggled so bad today because you know they're not going to do that twice in a row. Or this team this year has shown that they won't do that, right? And I also love the fact that the Bills lost today because the Bills go into Detroit next week, and same thing. I don't anticipate the Bills losing twice, so we have a chance to sit there. We take care of business, take over the number 1 seed next week.
Yeah, Greg, no, you're spot on, but then everybody has to see, like, you know, I know about the missed tackles. Luke's talking about it, and you know, today was an overall not a good game by any stretch, right?
Carolina battled. Give them credit.
You won. They've been battling better. And they've been battling a lot of people.
Yeah, they've been playing better. Chuba played. How do we say his name? Chubba Chuba.
When you can smell this, when you go to the Rams, you win that game. Who did they beat before the Rams? They
almost beat Kansas City. They almost beat Tampa.
No, the Eagles.
Not them, us.
Us. Oh.
Give me a second.
Wait, what are you saying?
We beat the Rams. We beat the Ravens.
Yeah, we
prior
beat the
to this
Ravens, we
game.
beat the Rams.
Ravens last
We
week,
beat the
Rams before
Redskins,
that.
or Commanders, whatever their name is.
Commanders was before it.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
Redskins.
Commanders.
Commanders.
So, I mean, you're talking about 3 like physical games,
Yeah.
right? Against 3
Yeah.
really good football teams, and you won all 3 of them. And then you got the Steelers coming into town next week. Like, come on, guys. This ain't computers.
A little bit of letdown.
This ain't AI. Like, you think you should win this football game. Doesn't mean you don't prepare. It just means you might not have a little extra juice to you.
Yeah, our defense was due for a game where maybe they didn't play great, and then they still played pretty well, but they didn't play great today.
I mean,
And like you said, that should juice them back up for next week.
give up 16 points.
Yes, I mean that's not a lot of points at all.
Eye test will tell you more, right? Eye test will make you think a little bit more. Some big plays were made.
Yeah,
on third down.
Missed some tackles. The Slay gets burned at the end of the game. Legit's wide open for a game-winning touchdown. Can't catch the ball. Thank God. But
Yeah.
Was
can't
that
have
Slay
that.
or was that CJ? I thought it was CJ.
Well,
It could have been Slay was on him at the start. I'm not sure if I don't know. I couldn't tell the exact defense they were running. I'm not sure if he played pass.
But to your point, how do you let somebody get
I
by?
was gonna say he can't be wide open when you're up 6.
Regardless of who it was.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's ball game. He obviously catches that football. He didn't, and that's the point. There was a lot of big plays. That would have been another one. So, but the biggest takeaway from the defense today was really just some of the big plays. But again, you're without one of your starting safeties. So different times you were without CJ.
Yeah.
At different times you were without him. So, I mean, you chalk it up to that, and then like a Panthers team, nothing to lose, and they've been playing everybody tough. So.
Yeah,
And Bryce Young's played better. So it's not Carolina of last year. The record, they're sort of a little bit better than their record says they are. Percent.
Yeah, and Young has looked better the last 4 or 5 weeks. And he looked pretty good today. Like he looks like he belongs now. I'll give him that.
D Slayer, just a little off topic. He's appreciate the super chat. He says 10-9-8. Don't look now. 4 out of 5. And the big guy looked quick today. And the team is starting to figure out their roles, and the next 6 games are very favorable. You ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong. After the first 6 shots, he did look better. His team looked better. They've looked better the last 5 games. They have. And that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be mad about it.
Thing.
Nobody's going to be mad about it.
We're shooting too many threes still, but I agree, though.
Yeah, welcome.
They have looked better.
Yeah, that's the NBA, Wells.
No, Brian, I can't. I almost can't watch.
I don't.
It's awful. It's awful. It's a terrible product.
1,000%.
And these NBA Cup games. Who decided to make the floor red? You can't even see the basketball.
No,
I don't understand what they're doing.
But next week's the week where if you look like they're flat, then it's like okay.
We have a whole week off right now for the Sixers too, so you would hope
that
they can.
I was
back
talking
to
Eagles.
Back to the Eagles. I know.
I was talking Eagles on that one. We'll get back to the
Sixers. Do have
Sixers.
a whole week off though.
We'll get back to them. But the point of this, Bill, is like next week you find out, right? You find out next week against the Steelers if this week was just like, hey, we're looking past the team or not. Because if you come out and you're not physical and whatever, or you're giving up big plays, you just don't look like you're ready to go, then we have the conversation of like, here we go again down the stretch. But I don't think that's the case here.
And the Rams have a good offense. I mean, that's like what they did today. That game. There was no defense played in that game.
No.
So you look around the league, man. Listen, it's a week-to-week league, and you want to just escape with as many wins as you can get.
Yeah.
And here we are, 9 in a row. And listen, this is so.
Yeah, we're sitting in a good spot.
How funny it is, right? Because we've sat around bad football here at different times of our fanhood.
This time last year, we were playing awful football.
And we're 9 wins in a row, and we still can find ways to come on and find, some issues. It's just, it's amazing. And so I just want to take the minute to realize we are winners of 9 in a row. How great of a response from the end of last year to the first 4 games of this year, where guys were getting fired, different things were happening, in our opinion, what needed to happen for this franchise to get back in the right direction. It looked like a total collapse was happening again in front of our face. And all we did from that Sirianni presser again was go win 9 in a row. So, I have no reason to believe that this team isn't the best, if not the best in the NFC. I'm going to go out and tell you right now, again, it's the best football team in the NFC. this team should be the team representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. It's the best complete roster in the National Football League. And I'll continue to say, if Detroit was healthier on defense, they'd be in the conversation. They are not. They are not. They're resilient. They're tough. They're physical. I get it. But it's hard to win when you lose that many guys. I know the Eagles did it. I understand it. But they didn't lose a 20-sack guy. All right? They didn't lose that. They didn't lose their starting middle linebacker. Certain positions you can't lose. I mean, I know they lost a quarterback. But certain positions you can't lose. So I just – there's no reason for me to get scared.
In some people's mind, the greatest quarterback in Eagles history was backing up, Carson Wentz. So did we really lose our starting quarterback?
Well, you can say the best winner in Eagles history. You want to go there? We want to start talking that conversation. Sure.
Best 4-game stretch.
And it really wasn't. Like maybe best 4 quarters over a 4-game stretch.
Yeah, but it's a Super Bowl play that puts a pussy on a pedestal.
Yeah. No,
100%.
100%. I get it. And if we've won one before, it wouldn't be looked at like it is.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact that was our first one, you're always going to put them on the pedestal.
Pop the cherry.
Yeah, you're always looking up that skirt. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like you double that down with the fact that like the Patriots didn't punt, Brady threw for 500 yards, and we won the game. It's like that's why,
And the fact that you take it from the person who said that too, that he's a moron.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, huge moron.
Yeah, AJ's blown up for the next month. Jose, he was not happy in the post gamer, and probably because there's the routes he's open on and he wants the football. So
yeah,
and rightfully so, right? Like we just sat here and talked about it, rightfully so.
I mean, what was our poll? Yeah. What did AJ say? They asked him the
AJ
question.
said it.
That's what I said. So any of you guys out here in the chat disagreeing with the poll, AJ's telling you're a moron.
Yeah.
We don't have to tell you.
Our best playmaker said passing game.
Yeah. I mean, they have to throw the football better. But does that mean they can't win a Super Bowl if they don't? No. But I think if you really want to feel confident about it. Yeah. Maybe. You know how this works, man. You're a strip sack. You're a big play. Like there's so much shit that can happen. I don't know. I mean, at some point in the playoffs, you got to throw for enough.
Yeah. At some point, you're going to have to throw. That's all. Some point, you're going to have to.
You got to make it. You got to make some. You got to. I don't even know if you throw enough. You have to make enough big throws.
Yeah. No, I agree. And we're still going to run the ball. But, you look at when we start getting into some tough games in the playoffs here, obviously anyone that's going to come in here, they're going to say, you got to stack the box and you got to make them throw. That's going to be their game plan. Now, that's easier said than done, obviously. And I still think that we're going to still run the ball just because of how good our O-line is, how good Saquon is. It's just, it's what happens if something like, turnover early, we go behind early. That's like the doomsday scenario.
We're behind early all the time now.
Well, I meant like behind against a good team. But I agree. I mean, would love to see us come out and score a touchdown on the first drive next week. That would be great. I'd love to see that before we get to the playoffs. Go out and look good on a first to open a game. That would be great.
And of course, how ironic would that be against
a
good Steelers defense, right?
Yeah.
And
that
Chris,
would put me more at ease.
And Chris, all he has to do is average 200 yards of passing a game. Because, that means he's connecting early in games, right? And when you throw a ball 25 times, that means you're under what? You're under 10 yards. You're about a little bit above 10 yards an attempt compared to 5.7 or whatever he was today. Well, there's the difference, right? If you're at 10 yards an attempt at 25 attempts, that's 250 yards. So this isn't hard. So if you're just at 10, and he threw the ball 21 times, you threw for 210 yards. That should be status quo with the playmakers he has. You know what I mean? It just should be.
Yeah.
That's where you're like, okay, like 5.7 yards a fucking attempt is peewee shit.
Yeah.
And that's the problem here with Jalen.
Yeah, because you would think with our playmakers on the outside and our ability to run the ball, there's got to be a play action shot that hits every game. There should be, absolutely should be.
Like I'm trying. Let me see if I can figure.
In theory, we should mimic what the Rams look like today.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we are outside of the quarterback. We are, and I will say offensive line, because their offensive line isn't as good as ours.
No, not even close.
But the outside weapons and running back are equal, right? Equal enough. Equal enough. Yeah.
That dude Puka is outrageous.
Dude, every time he goes in motion,
good. It's
every time he goes in
he
motion, he gets the football.
Like Cooper Kupp is just he's like reliable, consistent, but Puka Nacua is a fucking star.
Oh, here's the deal, right? Today, 21 attempts, 5.1 yards an attempt. Okay. Now, during the season, he's at 8 yards of completion. Okay. Now, if you're at 8 yards of completion today, you're around 200. So that's really where it is, right?
And I
is it 8 yards of completion or 8 yards an attempt?
Well, it's 8 yards of completion, not attempt.
Well, that's usually how they say it, though, isn't it? Don't they usually say yards per attempt?
I would assume it's yards per completion, but okay. I mean, yeah, however you want to spin it. It's when a ball is completed, it's how many yards per ball he completes.
Yeah, that should be over 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was at 5.1 today. It's at 8 over the course of the year. It's at 7.6 for his career. All right. Now, his last 5 games he was averaging 8.4. So he was better there. Now, he's projected to throw for 3,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So, numbers wise, but
and you factor in the 15 rushing TDs that he's going to have,
Yeah, I mean, it's still a monster year, even though it doesn't like sell you with your eyeballs a ton of times. It's still a monster year, right? It just doesn't. But again, if he averaged around 9 yards an attempt by the end of the year, I think we're all okay with that year. If he's around 9, you know what I mean? Even 8, 9, you're like, okay.
If we just looked crisp, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just we don't look crisp. If we just looked crisp, I wouldn't even care what his yards and everything is. Just look crisp.
Yeah, he's had. I mean, how many weeks throughout the year do you think he's looked crisp?
I don't know, half of them.
Yeah, that's a good number. I'll say about that. Yeah. In the first quarter, I would say
I go off a couple group chats, so I might lean less because I go off a couple group chats with some Jalen haters, right? And it's like every game it feels like that they're in there playing peekaboo.
Well, because the first quarter is always bad.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I would say every first quarter he's been bad, and about half the games I would say he didn't throw the ball well enough.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
and again, you can still win that way. Like you can still win the playoffs with half the games.
So Saquon needs 121 yards in the final 4 games per game.
Yeah, so that average is going down.
Yeah.
That average is going down, which is amazing.
It was 124.
Yeah, and he went for 124 today.
And he went for 124, so now it's 120.8, right? So 121.
It is amazing. It's amazing. This guy's numbers go down. I mean, just so pedestrian too. It felt like 20 for 124, 6.2 yards a carry. And you feel like the guy just had an okay game.
Yeah.
I mean,
he didn't score, right? He didn't score.
I mean, he was okay.
He had like 2, and he had 2 carries where he almost broke it.
Yeah. And I was shocked. I was actually shocked that they gave him that second down run after he got down there. They gave him that second down run at the goal line, and he got stumped. And I'm like, oh, here comes the tush push.
Well, at least they gave him that chance to get in.
I agree.
Jalen had
you have to, right, Greg? Right, Greg? Then you have to. Like, once you don't get it on 100%. Second down, it's like, all right, guys, go push it.
Once you're inside the 1, you should tush push every time. I
No, but I
understand
don't
that people
mind.
are like, "He's the vulture." It works every time.
Yeah, I don't mind the
Yeah,
second
you're-
down. Real quick,
But
though,
the first or second downs are
I don't
kind
mind
of
this. Yeah, I don't
annoying.
mind the second down. The second down. Let's see if we can punch it in with a running back.
Yeah, but we weren't out. We were still outside the one at that point. I feel like Saquon got it inside the one, and then once it's inside the one, I'm of the opinion you should push every time because it's the least chance that you're going to turn the ball over, in my opinion. And we literally score every play that we do it.
Well, how about this? When he breaks the rushing record, which is coming, I got to believe he's going to break it.
Hopefully.
Does that guarantee him the MVP in your guys' eyes?
If the Eagles are
the 1
seed 2,
I think it's going to be very tough. It's going to be him or Allen.
But Allen's being stupid right now, so
yeah,
I don't know.
It's going to be him or Allen, I would say. But if he breaks the rushing record, he's got a very good chance. I know it's a quarterback league. I know it's tough for a running back to win it. But if he breaks the rushing record, he's got a very good chance.
And especially, too, potentially how he breaks it, right? If he breaks it with another 200-yard game and he does it in 16 games versus needing that 17th game, I think, you know what I mean? I almost think you have to give it to him. But that being said, take the homer hat off. Josh Allen is damn good, and he's having a monster year.
No, he is. I mean, if he goes, I'll tell you what's the big game for him. You want to know what it is? It's always the last game. It's always the last game you play, but it's really next week because that defense is elite.
Yeah.
So if you go and have a $150 versus them, and you find the end zone twice, that could be your stamp because 150. You might break the record in 16. You might break the record in 16 games like you're supposed to.
I feel like that might be a tough task. I mean, I'm just as a very good, well-coached team as the Steelers are, I would expect them to try. I mean, granted, it's easier said than done, but if anyone's going to try to stack the box and limit Saquon, it's going to be them.
But I say it every time. You're 170-yarder away from that number hitting.
Yeah.
So it's not crazy.
Like
him going for 200 isn't crazy. He just breaks one big one.
Yep.
And I just think that if he wins that award, if he breaks that record, I just think he deserves it. Because if he breaks that record too, we're 14-2.
I just think that I think it's all lined up perfectly for him to break it against the Giants in the last week. It's just like just to add a little more salt to the wound.
Oh, it's a total FU. I mean, the NFL can't script it better.
Yeah. What would be amazing, too, is if he needs like a small number in week 17. So that way, like everybody's, who wants to put an asterisk next to it can be like, listen, it was 30 yards, right? Like
at this point, you can't do the asterisk thing. You know what I mean? Because I mean, the guys back in the day played 14 games. So, like, what are we talking about?
No, I know. I always hate that, but it's out there.
Wow.
And real quick, Wills, you were right. It was Darius on the one side, but CJ was on the other side. So Darius was on the outside, and CJ was on the inside. He was on Leggett and let him go by him. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless of, you just can't, in that situation, you have to know you're up 6. Oh, field goal doesn't hurt you. You have to keep everyone in front of you.
Yeah.
No one can get behind you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just saw the replay.
I mean, I don't know if there's any vet rushers out there, Jesse. I know Shaq Barrett.
I feel like our defense has been great. I don't really have
Jalen
any
Carter's
complaints.
a certified monster.
Jalen Carter is an absolute beast.
Still getting held.
I think Alex Hunt has showed some stuff the last couple of weeks. He made a great play when it looked like Bryce had some yards on a run where he tracked him down.
We should be getting Bryce Huff back soon.
Yeah.
Right.
He hasn't been great, but at least we'll get him back.
They shot their load with their signings, right? You know what I mean? Whoever they signed, you know what I mean? Charles Haley, whatever. It's not Charles Haley.
Charles Haley.
If it was fucking Charles Haley, we'd be dominant.
Charles Haley.
Maybe
that's why I kept going with it, not remembering the name. That's why I kept going with it.
If it was 95, Charles Haley would have been pissed.
Now we are the 85 Bears. I thought we were.
Charles Haley. Hell of a player. Great name drop, Greg. 30 years ago. That'd be awesome. He was one of them guys that used to just go around and get rings, wasn't he? Didn't he go? He go to San Fran, then he went to Dallas.
Yeah, he chased a couple for sure.
It's like him and Dion. They just kept following each other around. It's like, Dion, go to San Fran. I'll go to San Fran. Yeah. Go to Dallas. I'll go to Dallas.
Yeah, Daz, you're right, Daz. Reed Blankenship shows how vital he is on the back end. Show not having him today for sure.
Yeah, I mean, in spots, I don't even know the guy's name, but in spots.
I don't need a backup white guy play.
Yeah, and
honestly, backup white guy probably can't play.
In spots, he's fine, but as a starter.
He's throwing to Thielen. Every big pass tonight was to Adam Thielen. Like, that. You got to be on him better because every big pass is to Thielen. The one that was tipped and Thielen caught was absurd.
Yeah.
But all the other big third down plays and fourth down plays were all to Thielen.
Man, Brian, do you ever have anything good to say, Brian? I mean, Nolan Smith got work today, bad showing. I mean, he might have, yeah. I mean,
we didn't have the greatest day on defense today. That's for sure. But against only 16 points, though. No problem with them not making the playoffs. See, if you want to make the playoffs, don't lose to a bad Oklahoma team and get embarrassed.
Or Vandy.
That's the reason they didn't make the playoffs right there. That's it.
You got to go one. You got to go 1-1 against Vandy and Oklahoma, and you went 0-2.
I mean, if they just have a good showing against Oklahoma, they might have still made it. I think what did them in was that people were like, that's a bad Oklahoma team that whipped them.
Yeah. Now, are Alabama hatred aside, are they better than SMU? Are they a top 12?
They're better than Indiana.
Yes, 100%. They're better than Indiana. They're better than SMU. They're better than Clemson. They're better than.
But like we said, don't lose to Vandy and don't lose to Oklahoma.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're going to have Nick Saban on there like, well, you're playing all the SEC teams every week. Shut the fuck up, Nick. How's that sound? So did Texas, and they have a better record. So did Tennessee. They have a better record.
Beasley says, I think Hurts makes the play calling look bad in the first because he is bad early. I feel like if he was used the pocket better and got the ball out quicker, those plays where he missed open guys looks better. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the whole deal.
I think that's 100% true there, Beast.
Whole deal.
Yeah.
Whole deal.
I think that's our biggest gripe. That's been our biggest gripe all season is that we look bad in the first quarter. A lot of it is throwing, and a lot of it looks like there's guys open. He's holding the ball too long. He's not throwing with anticipation. That literally is our biggest issue that we've had probably all season. And it gets better as the game goes on. He does. But early, it's been bad.
Yeah, like I don't care if it's a number 2 seed. If I get week 17 off, I just need to buy somewhere. That's all. Like if it's me taking my own buy or if it's me getting by in the first round, I just need to buy somewhere.
I want the 1.
No.
I agree. Listen, I'll sell it for the 2, but I want the 1.
I would prefer the 1. You know what I mean? I prefer all roads lead through here. I'm just saying, I just need to buy somewhere.
Yeah, I don't want. The thing is, Detroit is a dome team. They play almost all their fucking games in the dome. They're good in the dome. Let's see them in the cold weather.
Don, I haven't answered this question yet because Dallas Goedert's always been soft as baby shit. I mean, back from the punch. I mean, he's always missing time.
Yep.
That taxes and Dallas Goedert missing time. So, I mean, I've been concerned about it forever. So, am I concerned about him when he's healthy? No. He's a stud.
Calcaterra had a pretty good game today.
Yeah, but I mean, I just need an athletic tight end. So if I have an athletic enough tight end, I'll be all right.
I'll tell you what the other thing I'm concerned with is our kicker.
Oh, that's
I
a big concern.
I got some Jake
Elliott
concerns.
that's a big one
for sure.
That's a big one.
He can't hit a 50-yarder.
Huge.
He hasn't hit a 50-yarder all year. We tried another one today. He missed it by 6 miles.
It put in the Delaware River.
Just a bit outside.
He hit it in the Delaware River.
Yeah, and then he missed an extra point that we luckily didn't have to kick again because they went off sides and we ran it in. But yeah, he needs to be better.
He missed an extra point.
He's
I missed
our
that part
other
of the
biggest
game.
issue on our team.
I was coming over from the bar at that point. He missed an extra point?
Yeah, but then they were offside, so then we went for 2.
Oh my god!
God! Pulled it.
Yeah, we talked about last year. We talk about with kickers in general, right? How many 50-yarders and the new 40-yarders?
Yeah, his confidence looks
like
down.
if you can't hit a 50-yarder, then you can't be a kicker in this league. And Jake's become that this year, and it sucks because he's owed a lot of money.
I know it didn't age right, me saying this, and I know he missed the 54-yarder that went into the Delaware River. maybe even hit the goddamn airport.
It missed it. It might have been out of the stadium. It was
But
a terrible kick.
I attempt that next field goal attempt.
The one where we punted on fourth down?
I probably would have as well.
I
Try
do.
to give him, just try to give
I
him
would
a
trust
little
our
confidence
defense.
back.
I do, because I'd say if they score, I'm still gonna have time to go score myself.
Even though I think I texted punt it.
Yeah, I mean when you stop them on the one, it makes you look.
Yeah, when you punt it to the one, it looks good. Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm a believer in like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm paying this guy to go make this. Go make it. And Nick usually plays with confidence for his guys, and I get that. I mean, I get it. He struggled with it. And sometimes you're just like, all right, dude, it's better off not even running him out there. But I don't know. I lost confidence in him for sure. It's hard not to. But I still think I run him out there and see if he can make a big kick for me.
Yeah, we're going to need him to. We're going to need him to.
Yeah. Takes one, right? You always say that. It takes one of those 50-yarders for him to start feeling himself a little bit.
And you thought Baltimore would have been it, right? He kicked well in Baltimore. It just wasn't out over 50, right? That's that threshold, I guess, apparently right now.
Yeah, it's just that 50 today was so bad.
Yeah,
just so bad. That wouldn't have been good from 30. It was so far off.
No, I bet you. I bet you if he had enough leg on it and he missed by a foot or two, maybe he takes it. Maybe he kicks the next one.
Sure,
I don't know.
Agree.
I don't know. I mean, that's just me saying like I don't know what I do. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions sometimes because sometimes it's not clear, right? Some of those ones where you're in no man's land like that, you're like
where we were.
Yeah, you're like, man, I might kick it though. Yeah. Like me as a coach says, you know what? Let me go try to get my guy confidence. But then also as a coach, you got to worry about 52 other guys that might say, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah. We're running this guy out again.
Yeah. Like he hasn't showed enough. I know he's getting paid $55 million.
He hasn't shit on himself enough,
but he hasn't been, listen, he hasn't been good. He hasn't been good. And that's not something we've had to say here.
No, because he has been good. Not this year.
Yeah.
No, and Luke, I'm not saying I'm just saying that's a hard one. I don't know what I would have did. I feel like I would have kicked it for the confidence side of the kicker and just cross my goddamn fingers and pray to God he makes it. But then when you punt it to the one, you're like, all right.
Yeah. If you're going to beat me, you're going 98 yards.
Like I want to try to get his confidence back up. Like that's the only reason I would have kicked it there. I mean, I did say punt it via text while it was going down, so I was on the punt there. But I understand what Tommy's saying though about trying to get his confidence up because we're going to need him to hit some kicks. We just are.
Yeah, but that's the only reason I say it. I mean, besides that, I punt it because he stunk.
Yeah. Like you said, he missed that first one by 2 miles. So. Chefs look like they're going to survive again.
They so good.
Yeah, they just got a first down, 3rd and 7, minute 10 left. Chargers have no timeouts.
Can't miss tackles.
Refereeated?
No.
Mahomes just run around and find Kelsey.
Yeah,
just same thing he does every fucking time.
Yep.
They're starting to get a little healthy too. Pacheco looks fresh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we know the Steelers game.
They're just surviving.
We know the Steelers game is going to be a dogfight. So
yeah, it should be a good game.
425 on Fox game. Should be. I'll be able to see it on regular TV. Be good.
Game of the week.
Should be.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Like those.
Well, yeah. Like Sixers wise, we're getting the Crumb. Playing better basketball. Week off. We'll see. Joel looked better today.
Yeah, hopefully he plays Friday. Now he gets a week off. Better play the next game.
Well, this is the time to start playing better basketball. So luckily they are. Not much more to talk about when it comes to them. But until you see more of it, right? I need more wins, more good stretches, because they can crawl themselves right into a good record and sort of save face with their start by just a good 2 months of basketball. Really, right? It ain't hard. Good 2 months of basketball, you're right back in the conversation. You'd be surprised.
You just lost so much early. I feel like it's going to be really tough to get into the top 4.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about top 4.
Well, then we're going to lose in the first or second round again.
All right, well, then you lose in the first, second round. So
true. Not like we're not used to it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to play these teams at some point.
Not like we haven't seen this one before.
I'd love to get the Cavs, though. They're a fucking fraud.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't
fraud. Donovan Mitchell missed me with the Donovan Mitchell shit. Fraud.
Any team led by Donovan Mitchell, I want to play.
Yeah, in the playoffs, give me Donovan Mitchell. Fraud.
Imagine if the Chiefs missed the kick.
I would love that.
It'd be amazing.
Who's their kicker? I don't even know. Matthew Wright?
Matthew Wright. And I only know that because I needed to pick him up for fantasy.
I would love it. I'd love a missed kick here if they just kneeled it out. If they just kneeled the last minute and a half off. He's gonna bury it.
How long?
Not long. 30 yards.
Yeah, 13 yards. Yeah, 30 yards.
31 apparently, according to the TV. Dude, for the Saints had a great block today on the last second.
Yeah, did you see that?
Oh, we missed it. We went in.
ESPN updated. I already know.
Fucking Chiefs. It backed off the upright.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, can you 300-pounder jumping over somebody, landing on his feet and getting a block?
Great play.
I can't do that.
Brzee, whatever his name is. Yeah.
That
kid was all over the field today too.
Yeah. I don't think anybody thought you could.
I was just confirming for the people that, I was an athlete once in my life.
I cannot believe that bounce off like that.
I know, it's ridiculous. Fucking Chiefs.
Who chooses the Mets?
Chiefs just survive. I know. I hate the fact that he signed with the Mets.
Imagine getting half your money away in taxes.
I'll tell you what, though, the Yankees fans had to be sick to their fucking stomach. Couldn't happen to a worse bunch.
Could happen to a better team.
Yeah. And especially because how much they hate the Mets fans, the Yankees fans. Yeah, that's got to be just awful for them.
Oh yeah.
What did Donnie ask?
Let's get in our crumbs.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I got one ready.
I feel like I should have one. Give me a second. I don't even know that I do. Syracuse basketball. Even though we have a great recruiting class coming next year, I'm not happy with Syracuse basketball. Syracuse football's back. It's cost us Syracuse basketball.
Gator Bowl, right? Gator Bowl?
No, Holiday Bowl.
Holiday Bowl.
Solid one, though.
Yeah.
Washington State in San Diego. My dad wants to go to it.
Good ones. Oh, go to San Diego, bro.
I have work. I can't. He wants to take my brother. I'm like, thanks. Thanks for telling me.
But it'll be after the holidays. You can't. You don't get reprieve.
It's still, the problem is, it's still that following week after Christmas is still tough.
It's still like a blackout period.
Yeah, I would hope that I might be able to because it's Friday. It's the 27th, so it's Friday, so it's possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I saw Liberty's going to Bahamas. I'm like, let's go to the Bahamas, baby.
Yeah. Liberty in the Bahamas Bowl. That's a late bowl too, right?
Yeah, January 4th.
Yeah.
So that's New Year PTO. Hell yeah.
Yeah, right into it. Appreciate you.
New Year PTO. Hey-o.
Appreciate you starting me off on the right foot.
Yeah.
Who do they got, too? I think that it's a winnable game,
Bahamas,
too, right?
It's a decent team. I forget who it off the top of my head.
I remember seeing it and being like, oh, Liberty can win that game.
Yeah, they could definitely win it for sure. Let me see.
Was it Marshall?
Yes, I think it is Marshall.
The Thundering Herd.
Yeah.
They make
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
All right,
they're going to win that game.
In my comment.
Liberty's going to win that game.
In my comments, you go.
Hopefully
nobody heard my comment.
I didn't hear you. But please repeat it because I want to hear it.
No, when you guys said Marshall to the Bahamas, I said, hopefully they make it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And wowzers. We are Marshall.
Where's Matthew McConaughey at when you need him? Oh, he's crying because Texas lost. I'll tell you what, that Alamo Bowl, BYU Colorado is going to be a good one.
There's a couple good matchups.
Marshall plays Army.
Oh, that's who it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Army's going to bury Marshall.
Yeah.
Army looked awesome against Tulane the other night.
Once things are over like 40, 50 years ago, you're allowed to make a comment. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm okay with it.
It's perfectly fine.
It depends what decade we're in. I apologize, guys. It was dark. I'm tired. You know what I mean?
And you can't cancel the guy who owns the thing. Who gives a shit?
Listen, we don't apologize around here.
I'll crown the NCAA. Giving Penn State a noon game. You give another noon freaking game to a Big Ten opponent on the first round of the playoffs. Come on. Now, with that being
You're
said,
the most Eastern team, though.
Penn
Who
State
else are they going to play at noon?
Penn State got a great draw.
I was going to say, I can't believe you're
not
bitching
going to
right
complain about that at all.
The easiest
Penn
draw of
State-
anyone.
Penn State got a great draw. And I ultimately get it. No one really wants to watch SMU. You know what I mean? So you throw them on at noon. But it's just Fox and big noon kickoff, just again ruining college football and ruining the Big Ten because they want all those primetime games at noon at 12 o'clock. But the whole point of these games was to highlight.
What are you complaining about?
Highlight the campuses, and you're going to get Penn State at noon. Come on,
Well,
Penn State at night.
One of them had to be at noon, Greg.
Game.
It's the most Eastern
Yeah,
Conference.
put on Tennessee, Ohio State.
Yeah, right. They're going to do Tennessee, Ohio State at noon instead of Penn State, SMU.
Tennessee beats them, by the way.
I don't know. It's going to be a lot better game than Penn State, SMU. I'll tell you
Tennessee beats them. Yeah, but so flip side, Penn State's the higher seed, is the better seed, and they're getting a shift. Put them at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, right. You think they're
At
going
least
to get
give
the
me
8
a
o'clock
3:30
game?
though. I hear you.
It's
I
4
know
o'clock,
why.
I think. 12, 4, and 8.
It's
So
12:40.
so what you're saying is you guys at Penn State are frauds because you're not good enough fans at 12 o'clock? I don't understand the problem.
No,
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's just shit.
You
It's
should
a shit time slot for
your
a great
day off with a
atmosphere.
beautiful win.
Look,
At least you're not playing Friday.
Look at you two.
There you
Look
go.
at we
There you go.
are.
There's my
Oh,
boy.
we
God,
are.
There's my boy.
These
We
fucking Penn State
are.
fucking
Here
people,
we
dude.
go. I don't
I
want
hope
to
SMU beats you.
I'm not
No
coming
shot.
next year now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, no shot, but I hope they do.
I'm not
I'll tell
coming
you one
next
thing,
year.
Great draw, though. Great draw.
Yo, you guys have the
SMU,
best,
Boise State.
you have the best draw.
We'll see you. We'll see. And then Georgia.
Boise might beat you, but great draw.
They might, but Penn
They're
State
just-
is the
if
superior
you
team.
stop the run, you'll beat them.
Yes. Penn State's the superior team.
Imagine thinking you're going to lose to SMU or Boise.
I'm
mean,
not.
that's-
I
I
don't
mean,
think
the
that.
bottom line is
that's
if
where you
James Franklin don't get you to the semifinal, he should be canned because
And I'll actually give
those
James-
are very winnable games.
I'll give James credit. Outside of one play yesterday, he stayed out of that game. I just don't understand the go for two. That's it.
Oh, that's new analytics, Greg.
There's no reason to go.
When
for
you're-
two.
Here he
That's
comes,
the new
another
analytics.
guy.
That's what it is. If
Here
you're down
comes another
14 in the
guy.
fourth quarter,
Yeah,
you're
Can't
down
white out a
14 in
game.
the fourth quarter, Greg. You got to go for two. They say.
I hear you.
Wait, you
What do
guys
they
can't
say?
wear all
They say.
white? Guys can't wear all white in a day game? I mean, come on, grow up, Peter Pan. It'll probably be,
I will say this though.
there'll probably be haze.
There's a
It'll
guy
probably
who's never been to a game.
probably be a
What
cloudy
I'm,
day
what
anyway.
I'm very
I mean,
excited
come on.
about though,
Cloudy day anyway.
No,
for the
okay.
games on campus. The games on campus are going to be awesome.
Clouds anyway.
Yep.
Games on campus are going to be awesome, and I'm really
That's
excited
all you
about
want tonight.
You figure 3 of the 4, right? You got out South Bend for Notre Dame, at Penn State, at Ohio State. One of them, if not all of them, should be a snow game. One of
Yes.
them's got to be a snow game.
Yes.
Has to be.
There's your whiteout.
There, that's that Indiana Notre Dame game is like I'm so torn because like part of
It'd be
me
a great
wants
game.
Indiana to upset Notre Dame, but
No
then that
shot.
would validate Indiana. And then the other side of it is Notre Dame's just going to absolutely trounce Indiana.
I think Notre Dame might trounce Indiana.
Yes.
I hope Indiana can keep it tight, but Notre Dame might trounce.
I don't know if Notre
Dame's
Dame's
playing
good
really
enough to-
well.
Yeah, I don't know if they're good enough
They're-
to trounce anybody.
I hate
They-
giving Notre Dame
They
credit.
play down, I feel like, at times.
They
Like, I don't
do.
know.
They
I
do,
don't
but
know.
they've been playing well the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, fuck that.
But arrest, who knows how do you come back off the arrest, right?
I mean,
be almost a month since they played last.
What's crazy is
Rudy
Georgia
was off sides for the whole
1,000% he was off sides.
I don't think Georgia hasn't lost
guy.
a game besides to Alabama in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, they're the big bad wolf, in my opinion.
And I'm saying, but
that's like
now with Beck hurt,
I don't know.
The kid
John
played
Stockton
pretty
might
well.
be better.
Yeah, he played pretty well.
Great point guard.
He got lit up.
Yeah,
And hopped right back up, which is
Where's
crazy.
Billy at? He might be paralyzed.
Where's
Dude,
Bill?
lit up. That was when he got hit. I said, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. And then they're trying to talk to him after the game.
He just popped up. Whoa!
Yeah,
And Howie Rose trying to give him an interview. Like, the dude is still seeing stars. Howie?
First off, I loved his interview. His interview was great.
That's welcome to college football.
That's the kind of interview that you should have.
Well, he's a Georgia kid. He's a Georgia kid.
Yeah, he just said, like, it's my teammates and all that. It was a good interview.
Yeah,
I like that kid. I tell you what, if Carson Beck can't grip the ball, I'm moving forward with that kid. I'm okay with it.
Well, he's a 5-star recruit, redshirt sophomore, so
you gotta figure
it's his job next year.
Yeah, they figure they're all 5 stars.
Oh yeah, but it's his job next year, right?
Well, listen, I mean, college football got it right in terms of, this is my non-crumb, and then I'll get into my crumb. College football got it right in terms of getting it to 12, right? We've been talking about it for years. There's ways to do it, right? Expand it, make it more fun. We knew once we went to 12, people like Greg would sit here and shake his head because there's teams he thinks should be in, or there's always going to be that, right? Like, I'm just joking with you.
They're going to jump. They're going to jump at the 14 in like 2 years.
Well, that's fine.
It
should go to 16 anyway. So, you know what I mean? Or whatever that odd number, whatever the number you need it to be, right?
Maybe 14 with the top 2 getting a bye, because that's how the SEC and Big Ten will be like, well, we'll always be top 2.
Yeah, give some teams that don't have to win a conference title some opportunities to get into, some other teams, right? So you just create a little bit more parity, a little bit more chance to win. You extend the regular season by doing that. You give more teams hope to get in. You allow some losses throughout the schedule. So I love it, right? I love it. I think it takes the pressure away from having to go undefeated.
And it makes more. If anything, it makes. Everyone was saying how it makes the regular season not as good. I think it made it better because there were so many more games that with meaning. There's all these games the last couple weeks where teams have 2 losses against each other.
Yep.
That back in the day they wouldn't even matter. They really mattered.
Yep. Every Sunday. Every Saturday. Every Saturday for the first time ever. I feel like I was watching a lot of football that mattered, and like you said, teams with 2 losses. Teams like back in the day, let's go before the round of 4, right? If you had 1 loss, you were essentially done.
Pretty much done, yeah.
You were done. So it takes away the pressure of having to go undefeated. Like, I want to be playing my best football at the end of the year, right? You always want to preach that.
That's why I was kind of trying to argue for South Carolina. Because I feel like everyone's like, yeah, well, they lost to Bama and they lost to Ole Miss. I'm like, yeah, they lost to them 2.5 months ago. They've won 7 straight. They look good.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's usually how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? It used to be the teams, like, if you had losses early, you could survive it by winning
college
later.
basketball. Like college basketball.
Yes.
Yep. And it's the same thing here. Like, you take it to 14, now you're letting that happen. Or if you take it to 16, like, there's ways to do it.
Yeah, you figured if it was 14 this year, the other 2 that would be in would be Bama and Miami.
College kids can't complain because they're cleaning up off of it.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're making a ton of money. What are
like, you can add more games when guys are leaving college. Listen, in 10 years, guys are going to be leaving college, making over $50 to $100 million. So, you know what I mean? Leaving college, like, you're going to have guys. So there's nothing stopping you from expanding it, because the more you expand, the more you get eyes on guys. It's the more football you have to be played. Now, you can't go too crazy, right? You can't go too crazy. You got to take regular season games away, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to do something about the transfer portal, but the transfer portal has definitely evened the playing field. Because all these teams are getting all these guys that, you know what I mean? Like, just think of all the quarterbacks that moved around this year. And it's even the playing field. So that's why there were so many more teams with losses this year. I feel like, obviously Oregon, only undefeated team, and they could have lost the game. I really like it.
Yeah, they also got to, obviously there's things they can adjust, right? You got to adjust the timing, though, of the transfer portal. Like, the window opens tomorrow, and you had teams playing the conference championship games last week or yesterday that were like locked in on that, not locked in on recruiting transfer portals, right? And stuff like that.
Sure,
and then
they
potentially
should do something with that. Yeah.
Potentially you have kids now, because this was in theory the end of their season, right? You have kids potentially on the active rosters hitting the transfer portal before the playoff games and stuff like that. So
already had.
they all have to adjust it and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah.
I know Ole Miss has. I know they got a decently good bowl game, but I think 4 kids already announced that they're transferring from Ole Miss.
Yeah. Whereas the opposite, Colorado, Deion said everyone's playing, and I give him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I like that. Well, he said we came here to win a bowl game.
Yeah.
Yeah, my crumb of the week is Major League Baseball. I missed a lot of it over the last week.
Was that thing true?
Well, yeah. So
that's crazy.
First off, let's just start with the contract, 750 million,
765.
Okay. Right. That is what it is. But when you constantly changing the game, you want to put a golden bat rule in, you want to do these cute things, you're going to be bankrupt. You're not going to have a game to sell. So, I'm just tired of the over tinker, like the overdone. I was good. Like you were fine. I was okay with extra innings. I don't care about that shit. Right. I was okay with guys not thrown over 75 times in a game. I think it becomes overkill. I'm okay with guys getting on the rubber and throwing the fucking ball, right? I don't need you to take 2 minutes to throw a pitch, right? I'm okay with speeding it up that way. That doesn't really faze me. Like it does, but doesn't, right? I've learned to be like okay with it. Like
I kind of still hate to go.
That's where the tinker stops, though.
Yeah. But like then you just keep going.
Yeah.
And like the golden bat, like that's a joke. Like I saw that on Twitter last year. Like,
I've ever heard in my life.
Like I saw it on Twitter last year. A guy was like, "Wouldn't it be cool if Bryce Harper could come up in any spot we needed him to?" And I'm like, no, that wouldn't be cool. So
we could fail over and over again?
Yeah, like, oh my God. So, like, that's not what I want. That's not what I look for.
That's not baseball.
It's just never.
What are we talking about? That's not baseball. You're supposed to be, your whole team needs to contribute. That's baseball.
Yeah, it just, I mean, that being said, that would make me go sign Juan Soto $765 million over 15 years because of, okay, well, I can, in a big spot, I can just bring him up again. He just batted. I was letting him bat again.
TJ Oshie in the Olympic style.
Yeah.
Like, is that what you do? You just say, okay, if the bases are loaded, we'll just bat Soto twice in a row?
I mean, that's what I would do.
You can do it.
It's just, I don't like it. There's my crumb.
It's a joke.
Manfred and baseball.
Absolutely a joke.
It will continuously be my crumb. These contracts are outlandish. I got no problem with the contracts, but we're almost thankful you would never be able to go to a Phillies game. We signed him for $765 million because it's already expensive as shit. You already can't take kids to games. Like I'm in the believer. I'm in the believer. Any kid 12 or under.
Park.
Any kid 12 or under.
$30 to park.
Any kid 12 or under, Wells, should be allowed into the game for free.
I'm fine with that.
You want to
you're already going to get a ton from all the parents.
You're going to get the money from all the parents anyway on their tickets.
Yep.
So you want to grow the game? I would grow the game during school till June, right? You say, well, because everybody gets on school at different times, right? Down south does, everywhere like that. So I know baseball wants to make their money, but you say summertime, kids get in for free. 12 and under, all summer long.
Yeah, they'd never do that, though. But I agree.
No, those are pigs. Those are fucking pigs. That's why.
Yeah. They'd say, well, we can't give Juan Soto $765 million then if we're letting kids in for fucking free.
Yeah.
They're so worried about growing the game for the casual fan that doesn't matter to anyway. Right? So they're so worried about growing the game to the casual fan when they're in reality pushing the real fans that give them all their money out the door.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's a joke.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. Goddamn joke.
That being said, hopefully the Phillies get sign some players. I know it's winter meetings coming up.
Yeah, should be an interesting week. Should be a busy week. A lot of names and rumors being thrown around.
Well, I think they need to hold on to Alec Bohm. I think they need to figure out.
It looks like they're going to.
I would obviously Andrew Painter would be up for me, and I'll say it again. I either get a guy like Justin Crawford up, or I tinker. I go find somebody else, another bat to add to this lineup somewhere else. If
So
that's in left field.
a lot of Cody Bellinger talk I've been hearing.
I just wish he wasn't
Cody
left-handed.
Bellinger.
I will absolutely take him.
Though.
I'm with you.
Good center fielder.
I'll take Cody Bellinger.
Yeah,
I'll take him.
I'll definitely take Cody Bellinger.
I'd be jacked up to get him. Like you said, I just wish he was right-handed.
I just need I need a right-handed bat for left field then.
Yeah.
So
well, I guess Cody, would you put Cody in center or would you put Cody in left? Because you're going to have if you do that, you're having a platoon somewhere. And is that Rojas and Marsh in center, or is that Rojas and Marsh in left?
If we got Bellinger, I think that it would be a trade, and we would probably. I don't know. I mean, it's 50-50 if Nick's back, I feel like. And I'd like Nick to be back, but
I think you need Nick back, honestly.
I mean, Nick was our best player in the second half last year.
You need that swagger. You need that outward swagger in the lineup.
I think Bowman and Nick have to be back. If you want
I'd like them both to be back. If
you want to try to compete. I mean, they were your two best hitters. I mean, I don't.
I'll argue against Bowman, but I won't.
I mean, unless you're going to go sign Bregman, but Bregman won't be cheap.
If you sign Bregman, Greg, then I'm fine with Bowman going.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I mean, Bregman's a winner. He's a better third baseman.
But that deal's
got a history of hitting the ball really good in the postseason, but he's going to want money.
That deal's going to be like Willie Adames, 7 for $182.
No, well, see, I would tell Bregman, I'll give him 3 years. You want 3 years
that's my money
$35 a year?
I'll give you 3 years, $300 million. Right?
Well,
not really.
I don't know if I
not really, but
3 years, 100 maybe.
Yeah, 3 years, 100.
If he really wants it, because I don't want to give him more than 3 years.
I agree with you. I am in agreement.
I would 1,000% give him 3 years. I don't want to give him more than 3 years.
Well,
I highly doubt he's going to want less than 5, though.
Then it allows you to go trade Bowman for a starter, and then bring Painter up too. And now,
Painter's definitely going to be up. I feel like they've been talking about that.
Or
he looked good in fall ball.
Or right, you have a fall ball. Well, you have a little closer situation here too. So let me just start this off.
That's true as well.
Let me say this to you in December 8th. You heard it from Tom Arnone here. All right, this is what I would do. Okay, because your starters wise, you have Wheels, you have Nola, you have Sanchez. Okay, you go and you'll have
Ranger.
I would go sign Scherzer to like the minimum as your 5th. Who gives a shit, right? Low risk, maybe a high reward as your 5th. And I would coming into camp, I'll let Painter be your closer because it's electric. So best, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box.
No, I'm with you. I was saying that earlier. I feel like because of how electric his stuff is, if you think
you want to
throw
throw 200 innings or
closer, then hey. Yeah. I mean, dominant closer is a very important cog. If you think he can be a dominant closer, then let's say it.
And it saves this.
Yeah.
It might be easier on that. You're not throwing 200 innings now. Because to be a legitimate starter, you got to throw 200 innings.
Yeah.
I mean, to be worth what we want him to be worth.
Yeah, at least $150.
But I mean, now
and then 200.
Now, like Alvarado doesn't have to be the closer. Now you can do some things. I mean, Hoffman needs to come back.
Yeah, it looks like Hoffman's getting some nips from other teams. We're going to have to re-sign Hoffman.
So we got to spend some money this offseason to keep up with the Joneses.
Well, I mean, just look around the league. The Dodgers are still spending Dodgers just won, and they're still spending a ton of money.
Yep. Already
brought in Snell, already brought in Conforto.
Yeah, I don't like that we're I don't like that we're
17 mil for Conforto too.
Yeah.
We're going to find out how much John Middleton really wants to win, because he has to look around and realize what's going on around him. And I know he's spent money. I know he has.
You got to keep spending it now.
Now I think he looks around and says, you know what, I gotta figure out how to even go more all in.
Yeah.
Because they're not better than the Dodgers right now. And
we're probably not better than the Mets right now.
No, we're better.
We're going to be honest. I would like to be. They just beat us. They beat us in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't think
they just added the best hitter in baseball, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough pitching.
They can't pitch right now.
But
they pitched pretty fucking well against us in the playoffs.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And that one guy we just can't hit him. That fucking lefty, Mania.
Well, yeah. Bryce hit him when he was with San Diego, so I just wish that ended better.
Well, I mean, what other
losing in the World
arms?
Series.
What other arms we even get here?
They're I hear
A lot of talk
they're
on Garrett Crotchet.
I've heard
I
that
hear
one. Yeah.
I hear they're in on the Japanese guy.
Roki Sasaki.
Yeah.
People
He's
are
only
saying
23,
A
24.
lot
I'll
of people
give
are saying that
I'll give
he might
Sasaki
sign
20,
with
20 years.
the Padres. But yeah, I mean, I'd be in.
Yeah.
I'll give him some Sasaki.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think you need an arm, you need a bat. We'll see what they do. Probably some moves this week, I would think. In the next 10 days, we'll say.
Yeah, I mean, you're the top arm out there is Corbin Burns.
Yeah, he's still available.
And then you got Sasaki is the number 2. Freed's still out there. Flaherty. We're not going to talk about Mania. Walker Buehler, Kikuchi.
Kind of honestly, Walker
I
Buehler
take
is
Walker
a good
Buehler.
name.
Love that.
Walker
name.
Buehler looked good
Love
again.
that
He
name.
looked good in the playoffs again. He was, he kind of after came back from injury, struggled last year, struggled early this year, but then came into form, looked good in the playoffs. I would take Walker Buehler. You don't have to pay him too much.
Yep. And I thought the same as Shane Bieber, too, before he went back to the Guardians.
Yeah, he went back to Cleveland, though, yeah.
Yep. I mean, there's your top 10. Those are your guys. And then other guys, you look at like Nick Martinez, Nick Pivetta, Scherzer, as you mentioned, Tommy, Charlie Morton, and of course, Jose Quintana, who owns this right now.
Jose Quintana, another guy that.
But I feel like, though, some of these guys are kind of like, I would love Corbin Burns, but not likely, right? Max Fried is a good name, but are you bringing in another high price lefty? Right, you know what I mean?
I think he's signing with the Red Sox.
Kikuchi's another one of those names, right?
I like Kikuchi, but
we saw what he could do on a good team in Houston, right?
I feel like Houston's
again another lefty, lefty.
If we bring a lefty in, it might be us getting rid, because I know that they've been floating Rangers' name out there. So if we bring a lefty in, it might be trading Rangers.
You want to get nuts instead of throwing Painter in the bullpen. Why don't you throw Ranger in the bullpen as your closer? Like, I love the bullpen idea from Painter, and it frustrates me that if he was that good in Arizona, why wasn't he in our bullpen for the playoffs?
I mean, how many times did I say that, Greg?
We said that
the
last 2 years.
How many times did I say it? Like, get him if he's ready to go, and if he's electric. Why is he not up in September?
That's true, but he won the hit for us anyway. So.
Well, I agree, yeah, but
true. But maybe you don't bring Gregory Soto in the 6th inning, though. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe you got another arm out there that's
Soto wasn't even here.
No, I'm sorry. I meant I forgot the guy's name. He wasn't even good enough. Estevez.
Yeah, Estevez. Well, you would think he would be back. You would think he would be back.
Yeah, I mean,
just because he's a closer. Yeah. I mean,
I'd hope he'd be back, but
I mean, just because you need arms, right? You would think he'd be back, right?
Yeah, hopefully it'll be better.
I mean, hopefully a year, like,
because he definitely didn't miss a lot of barrels.
A full year here for a guy can help. Yeah, I feel that, Wills.
Yeah, I know, struggling a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it should be a big, like you said, big winter meetings here for the Phils. Because you look around, Dodgers are getting better, Mets are getting better. We got to get better.
Yeah. I do love, I mean, real quick, the fact that even though we are shopping Alec Boehm, I do love the fact that they went to Seattle and said, Kirby or Logan Gilbert, like, let's start high and then settle on Luis Castillo, right? Let's start with your best 2 arms, Kirby and Gilbert.
I would love Logan Gilbert. I don't want George Kirby. He's a pussy.
It's true.
I want nothing to do with him.
I forgot about that.
Anybody that whines about throwing 89 pitches in a game, I want nothing to do with it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that would be a deal we'd make right now.
Yeah. But I love the fact that they went out and said, you're 1 and 2. That's who we're looking for Alec Boehm.
Yeah, I like that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Like, if we're going to trade him, we're going to make it worth it. And I love that.
Well, as they should.
Yeah.
I I mean, I think he's a 280, 290 guy who can hit 25, 30 home runs and drive in 100 plus RBIs. I mean, that's who he can be. So, I mean, they don't grow on trees. With the average side of it, it doesn't grow on trees. He's going to hit 30 doubles for you. I mean, that's why
I wish he could get to those power numbers. I just don't know that he can.
He can get to 25 if he plays a full year.
Yeah, I think he can.
He was on pace for that this year.
But he hasn't played a full year.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying he's on pace for it.
Yeah, I love the doubles.
But I'm just saying they don't like. I'm not like that's again like if you kept them, I'm not mad about it.
No,
I mean I need Bregman then, and then I need a big deal when I trade Bohm. And if I got to trade Crawford with Bohm to sweeten up what I get back, then I do what I got to do.
Well, that's why Crochet's not here yet because they don't want to give up Crawford,
and I wouldn't either,
and rightfully so.
I wouldn't either because you can win with young guys, man. So if he's a stud, then it combats losing out on Soto. Yeah. Or not, you know what I mean? Or not signing a guy like that. Because sometimes those guys got to be, those guys are what you need to get you over that hump.
Yeah.
You know, you need the influx of enough young guys who can play. You just do. Because Harper's getting old. These guys get older.
Yeah.
You know, so you need guys. You need Aiden Miller to be a pin. You know what I mean? You need Justin Crawford to be a pin.
Yeah, Aiden's probably still 2 years away. But yeah, I agree. We need him to be a pin.
Yeah, I mean, he's a high school guy, so yeah. You know what I mean? But he's also, what's his first full year, second full year, first full year?
Yeah, he was 19, right?
Second full year.
This will be his second.
This will be his second, yeah.
Yeah.
But 2 full years in the minors, you know, he's probably closer then if he keeps his production up.
Yeah. But he's the same reason. That's the same reason I wouldn't, if Bregman wants to sign, I don't give him more than 3 years because I expect Miller to be there.
Yeah,
I agree. But that's also why Bohm is available in theory too, though, right?
Yeah,
100%. You have that, right?
Yep,
and
100%.
He's coming up on a deal, and there was contentions in the last arbitration hearing, and obviously the pouting and the outburst to end the playoffs.
How fucking terrible he was in the playoffs doesn't help.
Yeah,
doesn't help him.
Yep. So.
Well, there's some things I heard that he's from like the Kansas City, like he's from the Missouri area, right?
Yeah.
So if you remember, he came back against Kansas City, okay?
There has been a little talk about Nolan Arenado. I've been hearing a little Nolan Arenado talk. He might be too old, but
well, hold on. Let me finish this one. So supposedly Bohm's parents, when it comes to baseball, really hard on him, like mentally, right? Like had to, you know what I mean? Had to have big games all the time, blah, 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 blah type. All right. So he had a lot of family in the stands when he came back against Kansas City. And if you remember a little bit about that series, there was some helmet throwing, there was some frustration. And I just, know the guy's 26 years old, but some of that frustration comes from the fact that, maybe that's where it starts. That's all I'm saying. So I heard that from a pretty reliable guy, connected to it. And I was like, oh, you know what? You don't really get those back end, you don't find there's little twists and everything. Yeah. Like, why is the guy acting like this all the time? Why is he starting to act like this all the time? Well, we don't realize the outside pressures to be perfect, right? When you want to be, right? So, I mean, this guy's 26 years old, man. He's the first guy to have a fucking outburst. I mean, we're acting like this guy's the biggest pussy in the world or something. This guy's the guy who rebounded from, talking shit to the fans here and all this stuff. And then because he doesn't have a good postseason and he's frustrated about it, right? And he wears his emotions in a city where we want emotion. Now we're like, this guy's a pussy. This guy's this guy. This guy's that. If Harper slams his helmet, we're like, oh yeah, he wants to win. Like, come on. Like, that's where I get come on. I got it. Like, nobody should be slamming their shit, in my opinion, right? But like, we're a city of where, show your emotion, wear your emotion on your sleeve. And then a guy does, and it's like, he's a pussy. You know what I mean? He can't handle it. Okay, maybe he can't, right? Maybe he can't, but like, because he shows emotion, you would think we want some cats to show emotion around here.
Yeah, I'm okay with some emotion.
Like, I don't understand what the big deal of it all was. I think it all got overblown, and then it was like,
I was more upset with the fact that he couldn't hit Woodard off a boat during the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's where my problem comes in. It has nothing to do with, anything else. Like, I don't care. You want to throw your helmet because you're mad, throw it.
Yeah, throw it.
Smash a water jug. I don't give a shit. Like, that just shows me you're locked in on something.
Yeah, it shows me you care at least.
Yeah, like I can live with it. Like, so I don't get, that's where I'm like, oh, we're trading him because of that. Like, holy shit. Like, we're acting like he's some locker room cancer.
Yeah, I'm not there with you, Tommy. I agree with you there.
Let's just get older.
If we're going to trade him, it better be for an upgrade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, or let's just get older, right? Like, because, like, I'm also trying to win for a little bit too. You know what I mean? I don't need to have a roster of all 35-year-olds tomorrow. I love Bregman. I'll take Bregman. If you're dealing Bowman, you're getting a young arm back that it can be a great starter for you. Okay, sure, right? Then I'll take Breggs, but it's not like I'll trade Bowman for whatever and I get Bregman. I feel like I'm a better baseball team. I don't know how much better I am. I really don't know how much better I am. I get another Harper guy, and that's all I'm doing because that's the GM. We don't talk about him being fucking LeBron James of the Phillies, do we? You know what I mean? 'Cause that's what it's becoming. We come and get all the Harper guys. And you two fanboys won't see that.
Bregman's streaky. You're the one telling me that Soto was a Harper guy. That worked well.
Soto's a Kevin Long guy.
I know. I've heard that. I mean, listen,
Bregman was a Harper guy.
The one thing I will say about Bregman is that he's a better defender than Boom, and he's got a history of being really good in the postseason. But he is a very streaky hitter, though.
And his swing fits our ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, you would think he would hit 35 homers in our ballpark.
Yeah, man, I'll take Bregman yesterday. I just need the right deal for Bo.
No, I totally agree.
And I'm just saying I like Alec Bohm.
And I'm not giving Bregman 7 years. That ain't happening.
And I'm not trading Bohm for a 32-year-old arm, right? Like I need a young arm back.
It needs to be Crotchet.
Yeah.
Because he's 23 or 24 or whatever. It needs to be him.
Yeah. I need a puppy.
That's the guy I want. I need him. He's dynamite. He's got great K numbers. That's the guy.
And I'll trade you Justin Crawford.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
I'll keep saying it.
Throw in Luis Robert, and you get Crawford.
Okay.
They don't want Robert anyway, right? So if you want a top outfield prospect, then I need a 26-year-old.
Yeah, make it worth my time too here.
Louis Robert? Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of talent.
And we talked about
always hurt.
We need a little Latin flair in our lineup, right?
Yeah, we do. We do though. We
have righty.
We need a righty and we need Latin flair. He's
a good outfielder actually too.
We just talked about kill two birds with one stone. Birds have been killed tonight.
Yeah.
So we figured it out. We need some guys who had a fucking, get on a goddamn life raft and
he's
find
Cuban too. So he's even
he's
even
guys
like
deported. Yeah. You know what I mean? Guys who could not deported, what do you call it? They
defected.
I need some defectors. I need a couple defectors in my lineup. Some guys who know what it's like to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
At a little fucking Atlantic Ocean riding them in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Little Atlantic Ocean riding behind them.
Seawater in your lungs.
Yeah, I need a little seawater up in here. Around the Delaware River. I need a little seawater. Too many guys, silver spoon. Too many AAU guys. Too many travel ball guys. They get all the gear on the bed for them. Welcome to the event at 15. All laid out, nice and cute. I need some guys hitting off a fucking tire like it's a T. You know what I mean? I need some guys freaking that wound their own baseballs up the night before. All right, this guy sewed his own fucking balls up just to get 100 swings in. That's what I'm looking for.
Just to hit them back in the river.
I've been saying it to Wilson for 3 decades that we don't know what Latin America is. We don't know where it's located.
Don't we have a huge spot down there too?
We just get nobody good in it. Like they all go, oh well, you know what I mean? Like Like
it is amazing. The one Cuban we signed was terrible. Remember that pitcher? He was
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez.
Yeah.
awful.
His fucking middle name was a great pasta dish. You know what I mean? Alfredo. It was like, oh, Miguel Alfredo.
We were so jacked for him too. We finally got one. And he sucked.
He had his first good outing. We were like, Alfredo Gonzalez. Miguel, fucking put the Alfredo on it, Gonzalez. Love it. Fucking stunk out loud. Miguel Franco. Miguel Franco stunk. I mean, every Latin guy we drafted
who was that? Who was the guy we traded for? Traded Cliff Lee for. Big pitcher. He stunk. Philippe Almont stunk.
Yeah.
Oh, Canadian. It was Canadian though.
He stunk.
He did stink though.
Good pass. Good pass on the Canadians. Yeah, we have nobody.
What do we trade Canadians for? Tyson Gillis.
Well,
Tyson Gillis, another one.
Well, imagine how much they're selling you too. Where you're like, don't we got a big facility down there?
I know,
right? Like they're like they're marketing it. They're marketing in the U.S. Great. You know what I mean? Like everybody here knows they got one.
Philly's big facility down there.
Nobody's there.
Can't fucking get nobody there, but it's a huge facility.
Lights are on. I mean, they get the guys that walk in. They're like, I don't want to let this guy's got 3 charges. You know what I mean? Swings are great, but he's got 3 charges. He's 28. You know what I mean? What are we gonna get out of this guy? Oh, yeah, who they did get though. They did sign.
Yeah,
right out of fucking diapers. You know what I mean? Is Acuna's brother. The guy. He'll stink.
He'll stink. He'll be the worst kid of the family.
Oh, he'll come up
the
in
family
bat one.
disowned him.
You
The
can
other
smell.
can play. He can't probably.
You can smell him coming up and batting 120. Now he's the youngest, right?
Yeah.
You know what they say about the youngest brother?
Usually it's a good
tough.
thing. Yeah, usually it's good thing.
Tough.
Maybe this is the guy. Maybe this is the soda. He'll be playing.
He might be too young.
He may be playing at 18.
Like
Ronald
was already gone. Didn't learn anything from him.
Maybe. Hopefully, it didn't cross streams or cross family teams.
You didn't see him enough, Wells.
Didn't see him enough. Yeah, he's too young. He is like really. He's like 13, right, or 14.
Yeah, he's like 13,
super young.
Yeah. At least he's living there though. It's a good sign.
Louis Angel Acuna.
Yeah,
the other one.
Oh, the Angel. Oh, it's an Angel in the outfield.
He's the one that's on. Is he on the Mets?
Mets.
Yeah, Louis. His name's Louis Angel.
Angel.
Well, the second
Louis
one.
Angel.
Yeah, is he the oldest?
No, he's younger than
He's
Ronald.
the brother.
He's the middle.
Yeah.
What do we got? A cousin?
We got the cousin.
Oh, we got a cousin.
We got a cousin. Yeah, hopefully it didn't break family ties. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a cousin. We didn't get a brother.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I think it's a brother.
Can you re-Google this? Because I'm pretty
I thought
sure
it was
a brother.
I thought it was the youngest brother.
I could swear it was a brother. Could swear it was a brother. Now you're telling me it's a cousin.
Yeah, I need it to be a brother.
I need you to re-Google.
I need it to be a brother.
I wanted Franco. Too soon. You're getting mad at me about Marshall. You're getting mad at me about Marshall. Yep. Wow. It's like, say, Greg, this is unbelievable.
It's the little brother, right?
Yeah, it's his brother. Yeah.
Currently 12 years old.
Wow. And Acuna's what, 25? Yeah, he's been out. He never even met him.
Yeah, he doesn't know who his brother is. He just knows his brother is this superstar that gives him free gloves.
No, he just knows he gets to deposit the check. No check from the family celebrates.
Was that from Ronnie or Louis Angel?
Ronnie sent me another check.
What's it called? Someone just said that the Yankees offered 15 years, $760 million.
A little short.
Yeah, $5 million short. We said that he don't care about the money, or we don't care about where he's playing. He just wants the money. Clearly, that was the case.
That one number, Pablo Escobar in his lineup. Yeah, I want a guy who had to work hard to get here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
I don't know if he was expecting to be good.
That was Tommy's boy, so
yeah, that's not
careful. Careful,
Tommy.
Tommy's guy.
So a qualifying R. I said Nick Martinez signed for $21 million. He stinks.
Nick Martinez.
Pitcher.
Pitcher.
For who?
The Reds.
The Reds.
He signed his qualifying offer.
He signed with the Reds?
Yeah.
Huh? He used to be
23
on
mil?
San Diego. He's
Where
like
they getting the money?
He's
21 mil.
okay.
And like Bieber got 14 mil. Like, what
Who's
the hell's
paying-
going on here?
Who's paying some of these contracts? Like, who's?
Would
like,
you
where
guys
they
sign
get-
Nick Pivetta back?
No. Where they getting?
I would.
You
He
would.
strikes out a
dude.
lot. He strikes out a lot of guys.
Yeah, and he
He
gives
had,
up.
he had a solid year for the Red Sox.
He had a
I will
decent
say
year,
that.
yeah.
He did have a solid year.
Yeah, fuck Nick about it. We're not doing this. We're not going backwards.
Glad we didn't sign Clay Holmes, though. That's a good one.
They're saying they're going to start him.
And make him a starter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He
Mets are
wasn't
gonna
good out of
start
the
Clay
bullpen.
Holmes?
He wasn't good out of the bullpen.
Who's
I hope
starting
he's
Clay
trapped.
Holmes?
The
Mets-
Mets signed 2 Yankees. They signed Clay Holmes and Juan Soto.
The Mets signed Clay Holmes to a 3-year, $38 million deal. I believe what it was, and they said they're going to start him. Which
They
is
can make a
I'm
starter.
fine. That means that they're not going to re-sign Minaya and
No.
what's it
Quintana.
called? Who
They're
both
gone.
we can't hit. So I'm fine.
Yeah.
Get them out.
They don't have enough arms. I'm not worried about the Mets yet. They'll be the Mets. They'll be the Mets.
Carlos Santana, anybody?
I'm just hoping Soto has the kind of year he had with San Diego.
Yeah.
That would be great. So I can hear the Mets whine.
Turmoil in the locker room again.
Oh, a little Latin. Well, Latin guys rattling there. Again.
Yeah.
Just saying. Now Lindor don't got a lot of pressure on him anymore. He'll probably rake.
Yeah.
Lindor probably about 3. He'll probably have an MVP caliber year next year.
Again.
He had one this year.
Well, just because he doesn't have to worry about all the pressure now. That
Yeah.
shifted. That shifted just like the shuffle. And now I got to deal with this shuffle in the fucking division again. So we got rid of it. Now it's right back in our
this
faces.
Fucking guy. I hate him too. God damn it.
I would love him.
He
but I
is
hate
good.
him.
No, he can play.
If he's on
He
my
can
team, I'm fucking
He
6 to
can,
midnight.
he
tonight.
can
Yes.
definitely play. That's for sure.
But we didn't meet with him. Right now, I said to somebody, John Malmos, because everybody's got a comment saying, "Well, Tom, you told us that there, blah blah blah." And I said, "Yeah, he's got a big relationship here. He took John Middleton's goddamn flight with all the guys to the All-Star game. Like we got such short fucking memories. Like we don't even remember shit. Like we remember that. Like he did. So
At the All-Star game, he named Bryce Harper his favorite teammate.
yeah.
When he's playing with Judge, who at the time was having a monster year.
Yeah, so let's there's a huge connection here. The Phillies just obviously for some reason they didn't want to get involved in it.
Also, shout out Dick Allen getting into the Hall of Fame. Philly's great.
Because they must think they have bigger needs than a competitive at a bat. And I think that's the biggest thing Juan Soto brings to your baseball team. It's just
He's going to get on base.
see it, Greg. It's just competitive AB.
Peace, Greg. You know he's going to get on base. I mean, that's just a fact. He had a great postseason.
He did.
Judge couldn't hit Wooder. Soto couldn't miss.
But you also hope when guys, it's his last contract, a lot of money. You hope you have a down year. That's all. And he's going to a place where it's expected to have a down year. The Mets will Met. They'll Met.
I hope so. I hope so.
We got a big couple months here. Well, not even, right? We got a big month to revamp a little bit of this roster. But we'll see you boys next week.
Absolutely.
We're 8 minutes past due. I don't know why we're still even on. So yeah, go Birds.
Go Birds.
See you next Sunday after a big
9 straight.
After a big win. Yep, 10 after next Sunday. Let's go.